Hello, friends. I'm Christine Miller Beltran of Sacred Journey Inc. Sacred Soul Sessions, and I'm coming to you live today on my YouTube channel, Christine Miller Beltran 420. I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. I do all things astrology, numerology, tarot, um, mysticism, cosmic, and metaphysical, as well as spiritual. I'd like to begin this day, October 2nd, 2024, um, with prayers for all those who are in the wake of the storms that are all over our planet, who have been impacted and who are in a state of recovery. All of the animals, all of the people um, who are in a place of trying to rebuild and make sense of deep loss. Prayers to you all. God sends his legions, and may he send his armies to all who are in need, as he always does. And so if you'll pray this prayer with me, and the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Amen. Sending out peace to all, also in the wake of the recent attacks. But there is so much suffering on this earth. And so let us be the light. Let us be love. Let us show up with that heart. It is the heart of oneness and of consciousness of all. And so I hope that you prayed that prayer with me and send that out from your heart. As one does, all are lifted. Amen. And so let us talk about this wonderful and powerful day we have here, as I sip my first sip of, yes, my hocus pocus, because you know what, guys? Guess what month this is? It's October. It's one of my faves. It's Halloween month. We still have to decorate here at Casa Beltran and the Palmy Palace. Right, Kayla? I have Kayla right here with me. So what happens when we have a new moon and a solar eclipse? First of all, a solar eclipse can only happen during a new moon. And it's when the moon transits between the sun and the earth, casting its shadow. The moon casts its shadow on the earth. Now, the moon card in tarot and in astrology, it represents our emotions. And the moon is the divine feminine, the divine mother. And she's casting her shadow on the sun. I'm sorry, she's casting her shadow on the earth. I knew I had to get that for a minute. I needed to pause. Forgive me. So that's what we're talking about today, astrologically. And I cast the chart for West Babylon, New York, which I'm not going to pull up, but I do have one here. And we have some nuggets to share. Before I jump into that, I want to just shout out to my girl, Kerry, who came back from Italy and brought me this treasure of stars, moons, and planets. She knows my heart. And my beautiful friend, Goddess Linda, her mother gave her this treasure, this beautiful treasure of the planets, the moon, the sun. And Linda gifted me with that gift from her mother that her mother gave her, who, of course, is in the next realm. So God bless you, Linda, and your beautiful mama. So today at 2:49 p.m., we are going to have a solar eclipse where the moon travels between the sun and the earth, casting its shadow on the earth. And the shadow, as some of us may know, this is a time of deep exploration of our emotions. The moon is our feeling part of ourself. It can also represent our body or mother or our maternal instincts or how we nourish and nurture ourselves, right? And it's in the sign of Libra, okay? And Libra is all about, we're in Libra season, and Libra it's an air sign. It's ruled by Venus, and it's all about balance, harmony, justice, equality, okay? Those are the themes of Libra. the balance scales. It's an air sign. It's a cardinal sign. So it's leadership air. So the moon and the sun are in alignment. We call that conjunct. 10 degrees, 10 degrees, 3 minutes. And in my chart here that I cast for West Babylon, it's showing up in, and this is really interesting how the cards, the numbers, and the astrology all come together. No matter what and where you are, I am casting in tropical and whole sign houses. Whole sign houses, I've recently learned from the fabulous Lori Lothian Lunatic Astrology. It does, Lori, change everything. It gave me a completely different perspective and view on all of my clients' charts, on our charts, my husband's and mine, on families' charts that I'm doing, both present and past. It's amazing when you see the stories and the houses and how it shifts it just enough to tell a different perspective on the same story, like different doors and windows in a home. So, but it did make all the difference. So the sun and the moon are at 10 degrees. And I wanted to speak about that theme of Libra, which we already spoke about. Libra, this is the tarot card for Libra. And it's key 11, which I thought was interesting, which is a master number about balance, right? Balance, harmony. Because if you were to break down Master 11, it would be twos, okay? So the Masters of key 11 or the Master 11 are about balance and harmony, okay? That's what they're here to teach. And then this is the 10 degrees, the Wheel of Fortune. So changes and opportunities to shift very powerfully. I love the Wheel of Fortune. It has Taurus. It has all the fixed signs in here. Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Who am I missing? Leo, my mother. My God. Sorry, Mama Lynn. Okay. So this doesn't have to be perfect. It's just about getting the information out, right? So bear with me. All right. So the sun and the moon are together in the 10th house of, which is really the social status and the patriarchy. It's ruled by Capricorn archetypally. And it's a Saturnian house. It's a house of lessons of the teacher. Saturn teaches us what we need to learn and make sure that we're learning it as our souls evolve. And so the sun and moon are in here at 10 degrees. If I were to break that down, it would become a 1 or a new beginning. So there are always new beginnings. In a new moon, it's a new time, a time to reflect and to think of things in a new way, okay? Mindfully, and to feel things in a new way. And to examine what needs to be examined that may be out of balance and needs to come into balance so that you can shift and make the choices to spin the wheel and shift in another direction. On the opposing side of this, which is very interesting, so that's the 10th house, and that's the sun and the moon, which the sun represents our personality. The moon is our emotions, as I said. The sun is the core of who we are. And in opposition, so on the other side or the north side, because this is in the south, okay? In the north side or the nadir or the dragon's head, very interestingly, is the north node, which is our destiny point. And right now it's transiting in Aries. What are the themes of Aries? Aries is the head. Aries is the ram. Aries is fiery. Aries is passionate. Aries rules everything about the head. And it's in the 4th house. So what needs to be addressed in terms of leadership in your home or in terms of how you're thinking and how you're co-creating in your life? And it starts in your home. It starts in the home and in the mind and in the head. because we create from that perspective in that place. And the key here that's coming up is key 6, which is 6 degrees. It's in retrograde. That North Node in Aries is in retrograde, a fire sign, and it's the Lover's card. Now, the Lover's card is not just about love. The Lover's card is about choices. And when we make choices, we leave something behind and we choose something. Okay? Otherwise, it will be done for us. Notice that these lovers, okay, are open to the sun. They're looking up. Okay, well, she is. He isn't. But there's a choice to be made with the Lover's card, and it's key number 6, and it's in the 4th house. So what is that? 4th house is ruled typically by Cancer, the sign of Cancer, the crab. And the 4th house is our home, our family of origin, what we were born into, and our home that we currently are making. So how is the home that you're currently making, and how can you revisit that in your mind and make changes and lead in your life, okay? And clear up your thoughts that will create changes in your home life and in your relationships, in the most intimate of relationships in your home with yourself and God and those who are closest to you within your home. It may be you just living in your home, but the most intimate relationship you'll have is with you and God. And where are our greatest challenges? Well, I think we can all agree they come from our relationships with people, because they are the messengers that show us what we need to learn. Speaking of messengers, when we have a square, okay, in astrology in a chart, a square is 90 degrees, and a square brings tension. And right now we have Mars, the ruler of Aries. Now listen to this, because there's no accidents, squaring off the North Node, which is in Aries, in the 4th house, and Mars is in his detriment in Cancer, rule of 4th house. Aries is in the 4th house, and Mars that rules Aries is in the 7th, the house of partnerships, close relationships, business relationships, marital partners, business partners, very close, impactful partnershiping, okay? And in that house, he's in key 15. He's 15 degrees, and he's sitting in the 7th house. And he's not all that, Cancer the crab is a water sign, right? Cancer likes to burrow. Mars likes action. So right there's great tension. And then Aries likes action. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, but it's squaring off. Why? Well, here's key 15. And now this is interesting. This is the devil. Now people get a little crazy about this one, but let me explain what this is. This is the devil that is our own inner demons, our own things that we struggle with, the things that we are held slave to. See the slavery here? But it's a self-made prison, okay? So are we in a relationship, or are we in relationship, and the first relationship is always to ourselves, but in the reflection of other relationships, what do we need to learn about us? What needs to be healed and released? And how are we being in this relationship? Now, interestingly, the devil card is the ruler of the sign of Capricorn. Now, stay with me here. We have operational right now what they call a grand cross. A grand cross, I'm going to show it to you on this, if you can see it. Okay. The grand cross comes up and down, and it crosses over. And it's crossing from this place up here that I spoke about earlier. Look at me. I can't figure out my left from my right. Talk about balancing. You see where the sun and the moon are in the 10th house? Other way, Christine. See the sun and the moon with 10 degrees? Okay. You look at that. And then look down and see the North Node down here in Aries. Okay. Then you've got the Mars operational over here. And then over here, we have the ascending sign in what sign? In Capricorn. What is Capricorn ruled by? Saturn. What did I begin this story with? The 10th house is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, where the sun and the moon are sitting in this new moon opportunity. And Capricorn is the ascending sign in the first house, the house of self, the house ruled by Aries. Any of you that are like putting this puzzle together, this is why I just go, oh my God, this is incredible. And in that first house, we have the ascending sign at 18 degrees. And I did not pull, did I pull a card for 18? Yes, I did. And that is, you're not going to believe this, the moon in Capricorn, asking us, are we building a foundation? Have we built a foundation emotionally that honors the self? And that is squaring off to the fourth house by 90 degrees in the North Node. It's also squaring off the first house, follow me, with the ascending in Capricorn is squaring the sun and the moon, which are in Libra, asking us to examine the balance within ourselves, the balance within our homes, the balance within our homes, the balance within our partnerships and our lives, essentially. A Grand Cross is a very intense energy. It's a lot of tension. And right now it's in play, full play, okay? It's representing each of the elements, right? So you've got Capricorn and Earth, you've got air, the Libra at the south point with the sun and the moon in Libra. You've got the water represented in the Mars, that's in the seventh house, and you have the fourth house, fire, which is Aries. So all four elements are represented in this Grand Cross, or this Grand Cross. We also have a sun moon squaring Mars. So again, that's our personality, our emotions squaring off to our relationships. What is the square? It's the tension. It requires an exploration. It requires a healing and an examination. And there may be some relationships that need to be not only altered, but ended, or reframed or healed. And the only way we can heal these relationships is by going first to ourselves and being mindful, Aries, the fourth house, being responsible for our actions. Mars, action. Cranky, Cancer, wants to bury itself and not go into action. Okay, it's important to communicate. It's important to communicate with wisdom and responsibly. Something else to mention here is that Venus, who is the goddess Venus, who is the ruler of Libra, and also she's the ruler of Taurus, my sun sign. She's sitting in the 11th house at 11 degrees also. 11 degrees. What did I say about 11 degrees? The master number, right? And the balance, calling in the balance. And she's in Scorpio. And that's ruled by Pluto. Are you following this? Like, it's just like layers and layers and layers that need to be unpacked and unpeeled. And that's how we're crafted. When we get curious about ourselves, we can peel back the onion and start to examine what is going on at the deeper layers. I think Einstein said about peeling back the onion. We also have the benefic, which is Jupiter. Jupiter just moved into Gemini and is in the 6th house of health, ruled by Virgo. What did I want to say about Gemini in this house? Jupiter here. It's also ruled by Mercury, which is also the mind, which is also the health. It's about our health, everyday activities, our pets. So what does every day look like for you? This is also an encouragement to expand on your communication, on your learning. What's going on here? Mercury, the mind. Okay, so there's the mental aspects and the encouragement to communicate. Sometimes Gemini communicates, especially when, has some impetus with fire, okay, behind it, in a very fiery, way without really reflecting. So cause to pause and reflect. We also have something beautiful going on, which is a grand water trine. And the trine is 120 degrees It's like a pyramid. And the planets involved are Saturn, which I said is the great teacher, with 14 degrees, okay? And he's trying to Pisces, Saturn and Pisces, excuse me, trying to Mars. And Saturn is also trying to Venus. That was what it was. I'm sorry. So you've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer all in a trine operational from the first house, no, the third house, the seventh house, and the 11th house. So the third house is the house of communication, and that's where Saturn is sitting in the third house ruled by Gemini. So again, do you see what's happening here about communication and about the importance of reflecting Saturn, the teacher? And Pisces is a deeply sensitive, intuitive, and probably I'm a Pisces moon, doesn't want to see the truth of things sometimes, the dreamer, the Pisces, the dreamer, and can also be the victim. So it's time to pull on the big boy and big girl pants and take some action and create new beginnings in your life. New beginnings, reset the button in your own being and in the most sacred of relationships that you have in your life. There's an opportunity for that. So let's call back the themes of this new moon with a solar eclipse, with the shadow casted, for us to create an inward reflection on our emotions and what's going on within, and so that we can create greater balance, harmony within ourselves. And when we create it within ourselves, we send it out to the collective. When we maintain our frequency, we send it out to all. I use Valor. It's a blend by Young Living to begin every day, and I find it deeply grounding, harmonizing, and balancing. The oils in this blend are frankincense, rosewood, blue tansy, and there's another one, and I'm just forgetting in this moment, so forgive me. And harmony, I'm not even going to tell you how many oils are in this. This is a fabulous blend. I diffuse this if there's going to be a challenging situation in my home. I begin each day with it. It's part of the Good Day protocol that Gary created, Gary Young. I know Mary puts it, she said, on her shoulder blades. I like to put it on my intestines, my stomach, as well as that sacral area. And imagine harmony, but it's also very good for the heart. And while we're speaking of the heart is the gateway. The heart is the gateway. Our hearts have a resonance that impact the frequency of ourselves and everyone. Much more powerful than our brains. So drop into your heart. Open your heart. Open it to others. Open it to yourself. Love yourself first. And when you fall in love with you, then you represent love and send love out to all. I hope you enjoyed this today. I wish you peace, harmony, blessings, and love. And again, prayers to all. God is in charge. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Amen. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Happy new moon and solar eclipse. My gosh.